universities, etc. and so on. But now, according to NEP, all this will become multidisciplinary universities. For example, engineering and technology university should adapt and change itself to become multidisciplinary. Maybe a part of medicine it can take, a part of arts it can take, parts of language it can take, and a part of freelance can take. So many things it can take up together. So all of them will become multidisciplinary. Then it is also said that there is an autonomous status to be given to all the colleges by 2035. Let me make it very clear. When we say autonomous status will be given or granted to all the colleges at present, it doesn't mean that universities will not exist. Universities do exist independently. And similarly, all colleges will not be given autonomous status. It is called eligible colleges only, or eligible higher education institutes only will be given autonomous status. That means there will be a standard which is set for these colleges. And if they meet this particular standard, then they will become autonomous. But they want to drive it towards autonomous so that everybody will become independent and then come out. Then what about universities? Now universities will also coexist, and they will have at least 3,000 students catering to wide discipline. Usually the colleges will be a smaller one, but universities will have at least 3,000 students, and they will have wide discipline, means the discipline range will be very, very high. There is one more thing actually. At present we have National Scholarship Portal. This will be strengthened further with actually more funding, and this basically tries to look at the socio-economically disturbed people or the students, and it is going to couple handhold them so that they are going to get a better support from the society as well. And then there is also importance given for effective governance and leadership of HEIs, and there will be research and innovation driven universities will be brought in. Now universities are also will be recognized under 2-3 categories. One category is basically the research and innovation driven universities, means they are more of research driven activities will be taken. Again, multidisciplinary. There is something called teaching driven or the teaching main universities, wherein there is only teaching which is being given. The last identity which you find is basically the degree awarding institutes. They don't call it as university, the degree awarding institutes. So there are 3 categories which they are looking at. The first one is research and innovation driven university, teaching specific universities, and the degree granting institutions. And there is one more important thing which is really attractive. Every village will get a library which is attached to the school in the library. So this is a very, very emphasized move by NEP. So it wants to actually make even others to get use of this library, and therefore everybody will become literate in terms of the current status, etc. And they become more and more literate oriented type of mentality will come through. Now the examinations what are being done, these examinations at present are mainly of the formative assessment. Formative assessment is most of the examinations at present are memory based. You need to study, memorize, and then in the exam you need to just give it out. This will be turned towards formative assessment. What is formative assessment? Formative assessment is, it is just not memory oriented one. They'll be looking at what is the outcome from this education, and that outcome will be measured. And this is called formative assessment. And these formative assessments are all there, in a smaller portion at present at higher education. Now this will become a continuous formative assessment. A student will be assessed continuously from the teachers every day or every month. Similarly, his friends is called peer assessment will be done, and again the assessment will be done in the main exams, and the main exams will not be just memory oriented exams. There will be some sort of outcome based exams which they will try to see how much skill you have inculcated with, etc. and so on. And then coming to the examination again, the 10th and 12th grade board assessment will still be there. There will be a board for 10th and 12th. And for both, there will be 2 assessment opportunities. One is a main assessment opportunity. Another one is the optional assessment, which will be for improvement. So a student who wants to actually take both the assessment can take both the assessments. One is a main exam, maybe in the month of March or whenever it comes, so that he will do some performance. And immediately next month itself, or within a few days or a few weeks, there will be another improvement examination will be given to them. It is called an improvement exam. And by this, actually, the student can perform better, and the best performance out of the 2 will be taken. And the test will be there only for competitiveness, in the sense that these exams will check only the competitiveness. The skill and others which they are trying to give will be completely tested, in a continuous evaluation or the continuous assessment thing. On the overall, I would say that the new education policy looks at holistic and experiential learning. That is the total, as a bundle, I can say, tell uh, for the public.
Okay, sir. So that was a, in fact, after that, I had questions about the 4-year degree, but you have addressed that in details also. And the next thing which comes is for the stakeholders. Now, what is it in for parents?
Okay, it's a very good question actually. People will be wondering that in what way we can actually contribute, or what do I take away from this particular, the total series. I would say something like this. Look, whenever the education is going to address your own kids, basically that they are looking at holistic, development of the entire student, and therefore the parents will be at a very, very great, benefit in terms of looking at the holistic development of their kids, number one. Number two, if you look at the type of, multiple exit and multiple entry type of things at present, for especially for the higher education, no student will be left out as uneducated. See, for example, some students, unfortunately, because they may not be liking that particular subject, will not be able to complete a program within particular year. For example, let me say 3-year degree program. He would have taken more than 6 years to complete it, and finally he will be declared as he is not passed in this particular one, and after 6 years he goes out empty handed at present. But now what happens, the student will come out, suppose I say after the first year he doesn't want to continue with that particular one, he can just come out with a certificate, and this certificate that, suppose I say the student has joined a science program, he will get a certificate in the science program. Similarly, suppose he continues for the second year, and then you complete second year, and then he doesn't want to continue with the third year, he will get a degree certificate. So this helps actually the parents to take the benefit of these types of multiple exits and motivate the students actually to get into the real life. See, suppose somebody wants to earn and then come back, they can earn and come back and then start from the second year again. This is called multiple entry also. This is not highlighted in most of the social media, but there is an advantage that the student can take a certificate, go out, work for 1 or 2 years, get more knowledge or something, or help family, come back for the second year to continue to get his degree in the second year, or continue for the third year and get the final year degree itself, from the diploma to degree. So this is another advantage. Third advantage, which actually I would say for the parents, is because at present it is very difficult for the parents to counsel the students or their kids to actually study particular course. See, for example, everybody is behind engineering or medicine, let me say, then the students beyond their expectation or beyond their interest are being pushed by the parents that you should take engineering or you should take so and so, therefore you will get good placement or the job, etc., and so on. Now the situation will be different. Even if he takes an engineering, the student has to learn the arts and science as well as the other skill oriented courses, and therefore the student will start developing an interest in engineering course plus so on. So it will be less headache for the parents actually also to say that my kid is not interested in engineering, but I'm still pushing it because I want him to become an engineer. It is not so, because all these are going to be merged. The boundary between all these higher education levels like arts, science, commerce, and liberal arts, everything is going to be merged together, and therefore there will be an overlapping. This is another advantage for the parent, and they can look at the holistic development of that. There is one more important thing which I would say, the fee regulation committee is also going to come, and this fee regulation committee is going to impose like what should be the maximum cap or the maximum, the limit for the fee to be collected by any institution at any level. And this is going to be mandatory for all the institutes, and this is going to be a very good boon for the parents. These are the major, the takeaway for the parents. There is one more thing actually, the parent involvement, not exclusively written in NEP, but it is actually intended in that. The parent will also be involved in the peer assessment of the kid. Means the assessment from the parent also will be taken into consideration when the marks card is written for that particular kid. This is indirectly written in NEP, not directly, but it is visible from the total length of that which you can see from it. These are the main takeaway for the parents.
So does the academic bank credit, the system of accumulating credits, does it have any linkage also in the fact that when you're talking about that